The anima and the animus, the contrasexual archetypes. You carry within you right now a hidden aspect of yourself that you've been taught to suppress, to fear, even to despise. Carl Jung called this your contrasexual soul. And whether you know it or not, this inner figure is controlling your relationships, your choices, and your very sense of who you are. Jung discovered something radical. Every man carries an unconscious feminine essence he called the anima, and every woman carries an unconscious masculine essence called the animus. These aren't just metaphors. They are autonomous personalities living in your unconscious, shaped by every encounter you've had with the opposite sex since childhood. They also contain your impression of the perfect mate. You will select based on these impressions of what will make and keep you happy. But when you don't know that part of your desire for the person is based on your ideals, you don't give them space to behave in another way. If the woman displays some masculine ways, his world seems like it will crumble. Or if he shows indecisiveness or doesn't lead the way she expects at every moment, she may become disappointed and find it hard to believe in him. Your anima or animus is not only your soul guide, but also your greatest source of projection, obsession, and conflict when you aren't aware of its existence. For the man to be in touch with the reality that he can, on a small scale, think like a woman, and to understand things that would escape him, like when he's solving a family situation and has to consider different views fairly, and a woman may find that she can, in a limited way, access a behavior mode generally associated with men. This may be seen in women who climb the corporate ladder. Today, we're bringing Jung into conversation with Machiavelli, Buddha, and the Stoics to explore what this hidden self really means for your life. Jung wrote, "The anima is the archetype of life itself. For men, she appears in dreams as the seductress, the wise woman, the muse. She connects you to feeling, intuition, creativity. These are usually considered feminine characteristics. But when she's unconscious, when you don't know she's there, she makes you moody, irrational, and you'll project her onto every woman you meet, searching desperately for someone to complete you. Someone who has your favorite characteristics, and you won't know of the power of these desires until you at the least know how they came to be and how they silently direct your decisions. That is why integration is so important. For women, the animus appears as the warrior, the intellectual, the spiritual guide. He gives you conviction, logic, assertiveness, but unconscious, he becomes the inner critic, the voice of harsh judgment, the need to always be right. You'll seek him in men who embody the power you won't claim for yourself. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Jung. The path forward? Integration. You must dialogue with this inner other, learn from it, honor it. This is individuation, becoming whole by embracing what you've denied. Machiavelli enters the conversation. Now, Machiavelli would hear Jung's theory and ask a more practical question. How does one wield this knowledge? In The Prince, Machiavelli understood that successful rulers embodied both virtù, masculine force, decisiveness, and fortuna, feminine adaptability, timing. He knew that power requires the integration of opposites. Machiavelli might say, your anima, or animus, isn't just about relationships or self-discovery. It's about strategic completeness. The leader who can't access both masculine assertion and feminine intuition is predictable, rigid, easily defeated. Your unconscious contrasexual side holds the weapons your enemies don't expect you to have. Machiavelli tells us, A prince must be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. To Machiavelli, integrating the anima and animus isn't spiritual work, it's survival. Now, the Buddha's perspective. Buddha would listen to both Jung and Machiavelli and gently redirect. You're still trapped in duality. In Tantric Buddhism, masculine and feminine energies, Yab-yu, are depicted in eternal union, not because one completes the other, but because both arise from emptiness. Your anima, your animus, these are all constructs, stories the mind tells. The Buddha might say, yes, explore these inner figures Jung describes, but don't mistake integration for the final goal. The deeper teaching is recognizing that there is no separate self to integrate anything into. The masculine isn't real. The feminine isn't real. What remains when you release all concepts? In the scene, there is only the scene. In the herd, only the herd. This is radical freedom, not balancing masculine and feminine, but seeing through the illusion that you were ever divided. The Stoic response. The Stoics would bring us back to earth. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. They weren't interested in soul images or strategic manipulation or mystical union. They asked, what can you control? Epictetus taught that your prohairesis, your faculty of choice, is the only thing truly yours. Whether you call your emotional reactivity the anima or just poor judgment doesn't matter. What matters is recognizing it, not being swept away by it. Marcus Aurelius might say, you feel irrational anger? That's not your anima possessing you. That's assent to an impression. You projected perfection onto a lover? That's your judgment about externals, not a mystical inner feminine. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoic path. Notice these inner patterns Jung describes? Yes, but don't dramatize them. Simply return to virtue, to reason, to what nature demands of you in this moment. Synthesis and practical wisdom from the Fab Four. So where does this leave you? Jung says, your wholeness requires embracing the inner other you've rejected. Machiavelli says, that integration makes you unpredictable and powerful. Buddha says, but don't cling to these concepts. See through them to what's beyond all duality. The Stoics say, and in the meantime, simply act with virtue and don't blame soul images for your lack of discipline. Perhaps the deepest wisdom is holding all four simultaneously. Notice your projections. Integrate what you've denied. Use that wholeness strategically, but don't identify with any of it. And in each moment, choose what's virtuous. Call to action. The anima and animus are working in your life right now, whether you acknowledge them or not. The question is, will you remain unconscious or will you do the work? If this exploration opens something in you, like and subscribe for more deep dives where ancient wisdom meets the complexity of being human. What aspect of yourself have you been refusing to see? Own it and start choosing based on your acceptance of human frailties in your associates. Be quietly loving and love generously. That leads to personal peace.